Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. और करें प्रभु। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरि बोल।
Oh, take this. Take this.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Hare Krishna. So, first of all, thank you very much. Especially would like to thank Praveen Prabhu. Praveen Prabhu? And so I would like to thank Praveen Prabhu, Bhagyashri Mataji and Radhika for opening their homes to all of us. First of all, congratulate them for having this new home and also opening this home for all of us to get together here and hear the glories of the Lord, sing the glories of the Lord together and hear the glories of the Lord. So thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Radhika. Hare Hare. So, in this world, it's a very common thing that in family life people want to buy a home, right? Have their own home, their own living space, right? Although we, in our Vaishnava tradition, understand that our stay in this world is temporary. No. Just imagine in the childhood, we were living in some place with our parents. When we grew up, maybe probably college, we went somewhere else. When we get married for a job purpose, we move to different places. Everywhere we live in different homes, different space, living space, right? No. So it is very common that in family life we want to have a space which we call as our own home, right? But mostly people don't realize what to do with that living space. What is the purpose of that space, which we call home? Why we have home? What is purpose? And how to keep it sanctified or purified. First of all, we should understand the walls in the home do not constitute home. It's just a building. Okay. What makes home is people living together in a loving relationship. That's what actually makes it a home. Right? People say home, sweet home, right? What is that home, sweet home? Not just four walls, right? So it's actually the presence of people in the home and their loving relationship, you know. That's what actually makes home actually a sweet place. But in a home or in a building where people live and they have competitive spirit with each other, you know, or you know, spirit for having supremacy over each other, that doesn't constitute home. In fact, people start repelling from that place. They want to be out of that place. No? So it is very crucial to understand home means a place where people live in harmony and love with each other. No? And it's very difficult in this world to live with loving relationship. It's very difficult. Especially you see in the modern times, people even, in ancient times, of course, people used to have their parents there arrange their marriage, right? Nowadays, people have their own marriage. They own arrange their own marriage, right? I remember, a couple of years back sometime back when I was in India, um, and sitting with our family, we were recollecting, our family, uh, with our relationship with our parent, because both of my parents passed away few years back, you know. So we were remembering our parents. I remember we are five brothers and one sister. So my second brother was discussing about his marriage. Okay. So he was telling everyone that all the brothers were sitting and he was discussing that, when his marriage was arranged, that time um, he asked our mother, but that this is, we are talking about way back in uh, late 70s and early 80s. Okay. I was probably 6, 7 years old that time. So you're saying his marriage was fixed, and um, he asked the mother, "Can I see the girl?" Marriage already fixed. They're supposed to get married sometime, in a few months' time. So he said, "I want to see the girl. Is it possible? Can you ask father?" Because he didn't get to see the girl. The marriage was just fixed. I'm not talking about thousands of years ago. We're talking about 30, 40 years ago. 40 years ago maybe. So she said, "I'll ask your dad if he agrees." She was actually scared to ask, but she said, "Okay, since you are asking, I'll ask. So she asked, and father replied, "Did his father ever get to see the girl that he wants to see the girl? Just tell him, shut up." And that's it. The conversation was over. And then later on, he got married, and of course, things worked out. So my eldest brother was hearing this, and he said, "Well, you got lucky, that your marriage was fixed by our parents at least. Said, my marriage was fixed by our grandparents, and our grandparent didn't get to see the girl." Now, just imagine, contrast to that, we're talking 50 years back only, not more than that. No? Contrast to that, today, girls and boys, they choose their own partner, right? Especially when I got married, my parents got to see the girl only after marriage. So just imagine, uh, the boys and girl get married by their own choice. But yet, it's so difficult. You know, you see more divorce rate is actually increasing much, much more. You know, it's becoming increasingly difficult even to live together for two people, right? And why is that? People don't even try to contemplate. Why is it that becoming more and more difficult, even in workspace, in the office space? When you're working, two people to get along with each other and work on the same project in harmony. People work because they don't want to get fired, right? But to work in harmony, it's so difficult, right? And people don't really try to contemplate why it's becoming more and more difficult. The root cause is because in modern times, although we say that we have advanced in technology, we have advanced in education, so-called education, we have advanced in compared to people in the past. They used to hardly have even degree, but now they have double degree, PhD, double PhD. I know people have double PhD also. And so with all that education and advancement in medicine and technology and everything, why is it that people can't even get along or live in harmony? Why is it that? Because people have forgotten one basic underlying principle, and that is sanctifying or purifying. Purifying the space that we live in, purifying our own consciousness. Because remember, living space purification is directly proportionate to our purity of our consciousness. One time Srila Prabhupada was walking in Jew temple, and this is the beginning days when Jew temple was, just a proper, just shed was made, and the devotees were, trying to collect money and trying to build a temple. So devotees told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, there are so many rats here. Mumbai city, you can imagine. That time it was just a swampy land. So Prabhupada said, so the devotee said, Prabhupada, there are so many rats here. And Prabhupada said, yes, they are going to be there because you don't chant properly. The devotee said, Prabhupada, what rats have to do with chanting? Prabhupada said, it has to do a lot with chanting. Prabhupada said, if you chant properly, your mind will be purified. Your consciousness will be purified. And if your consciousness is purified, you cannot tolerate uncleanliness around you. And he said, rats come only when there is uncleanliness. Rats will not come in the clean space. If you try to maintain cleanliness, rats will not come there. The rats will only come when you keep atmosphere unclean. Just like for example, you know, if you keep the bread in refrigerator, do you think the fungus will grow on that? No. But if you leave a piece of bread, sprinkle some water and leave in sun outside for 2-3 days, do you expect fungus to grow? Yes, right? Why? Because the atmosphere is conducive. The conducive atmosphere for fungus will grow fungus, right? So similarly, when we leave atmosphere conducive for different living entities come there and they flourish. So similarly, rats will also come if there is uncleanliness. Flies will come when there is uncleanliness, right? Roaches will come when the space is unclean, right? And that is directly proportionate to our consciousness. So people have forgotten in modern times that we need to purify our consciousness. Because unless that is purified, it's very difficult to maintain sanity or purity in our living space. So when I'm talking about purity, doesn't mean only just sweeping and mopping the floor. That everyone does. Nowadays, even you have robots that can do everything for you, right? But that is not the cleanliness, the only cleanliness. No. The most important part of cleanliness is actually to purify our consciousness. So let's try to understand what are the different principles which actually help to purify our consciousness. Now, of course, uh, looking it from the astrology perspective, because I had studied Vedic astrology, so from the astrological perspective, in Vedic astrology, there is one planet which is said to be contributing to impurity. Does anyone know which is that planet? Rahu. Exactly. Rahu is a planet which is considered impure planet. It contributes to uncleanliness. So, it's actually very interesting. If you see the background behind, the historical background from the Puranas, the Rahu is actually a demon. Demon means, demons are generally unclean. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, uh, what is that? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana asura. The asuras, they don't know what is pravritti, what is nivritti, what is clean, what is unclean, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Okay? So, it's actually very symbolic. So, demons generally are unclean by habits. So, Rahu is actually a planet which is considered celestial planet now, but originally happened to be a demon. And interestingly, in Vedic astrology, based on where you have Rahu placed in your chart, it indicates pollution of that area. No. So, because in your astrological chart, the different, there are 12 homes, there are 12, divisions of the chart. So based on your division, where the Rahu is placed, it actually brings pollution in that area. You know? So, for example, if you have Rahu in the sixth house, sixth house generally represents enemies. So, generally, a person will have enemies who are polluted in consciousness, demoniac. So, if you see Lord Ramachandra had Rahu placed in the sixth house. So, uh, the enemy happened to be a very powerful demon, Ravana, right? Or sixth house also represents stomach, you know. So if somebody has Rahu in the sixth house, indicates the person will have problem in the stomach, uncleanliness in the stomach, That means the person may have a lot of gas problem, that would be there. You can, in this way, you can actually correlate very easily. Now, there are certain lifestyle habits which actually make or strengthen or attract the energy of Rahu. You know, there are certain habits, a lifestyle that actually attracts that uncleanliness. So, based on wherever the Rahu is placed in your birth chart, and if you have certain lifestyle, you will strengthen that uncleanliness or you will subdue that uncleanliness. It really depends. You know? So, for example, what are the lifestyle? Um, for example, technology is considered one of the aspects of Rahu as well. Okay. So having the phones, gadgets like laptops, these are all considered also the elements of Rahu. So just imagine if as soon as you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is pick up the phone and start scrolling through. Very first thing in the morning. You are actually strengthening the aspect of Rahu. You actually start strengthening your Rahu. And based on where the Rahu is placed in your birth chart, it starts affecting that area of your life. You know? It starts polluting, bringing pollution in that area of your life. You know? Therefore, in our Krishna consciousness movement, we begin our day with purification. When we get up in the morning, first thing what we do? We do our morning duties, evacuation and cleaning, brushing our teeth, right? And taking shower. Actually, I see that culture is also deteriorating. Many parents they send their children like that to school. Let them come back in the afternoon. They will take shower in the afternoon, right? That actually strengthens the polluted energy of Rahu. No? It brings pollution. No? Purification is a very integral part of human life. In fact, human life is meant for purifying. Not only purifying our consciousness, but living in an atmosphere or a living space which is also purified. Yeah. Sometimes people say, "Oh, it takes too much time to, spend time in purification." Uh, so we have to do the needful. In Shrimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, there is a very nice instance where it emphasizes what is the significance of purification. So we know the battle of Kurukshetra, Mahabharata war, right? So at some point in the war, what happens is the uh, Ashwathama, he releases Brahmastra at Arjun because Ashwathama had killed the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi. So Arjun took the oath that he is going to arrest Ashwathama and bring him to presence of Draupadi, his wife. So Arjun is chasing along with Krishna on the chariot. They are chasing Ashwathama. Ashwathama is also running on the chariot. He's trying to run away. So Ashwathama's horses, they somehow get tired and they refuse to move forward. So he leaves the chariot and starts walking, running away on the foot. So Krishna tells Arjun that it's not fair that we are in the chariot and he is running on the ground, so let's walk behind him. So they also get down from the chariot, start running behind him. So uh, Ashwatthama, when he sees Krishna and Arjun, they are chasing him, he gets really scared. So in that scared condition of life, he knows the warfare. So he picks up some blade of grass and invokes the Brahmastra and releases that Brahmastra at Arjun. Now Brahmastra is coming at Arjun and Arjun can see. And Brahmastra comes much more faster than the bullet. Somebody is shooting bullet at you, it comes much more faster than it. But Arjun being the celestial, not an ordinary human being, okay, he's telling Krishna, Krishna, I see some glaring effulgences reaching towards me. What is it? So Krishna says that it is Ashwatthama who has released Brahmastra at you. And you can counteract only through another Brahmastra. So Krishna gives instruction to Arjun that now you also release a Brahmastra to counteract. So now, what is the priority? Release Brahmastra immediately, right? Srimad Bhagavatam describes that Arjun, first thing he did is he purified himself. He did Achman. And after Achman, he circumambulated Krishna. Just imagine, Brahmastra is coming towards him and he has to immediately counteract it. But he does Achman first, does circumambulating Krishna, and after that he releases Brahmastra to counteract the Brahmastra. So just imagine, we may think that, oh, we have urgency, Is our urgency as urgent as Arjun's urgency? Where actually the celestial weapon of Brahmastra is coming to kill him. Do you think something can be more urgent? None of us we are in such an urgent situation, right? But Arjun still took out some time and purified himself first. Purified his consciousness by keeping Krishna in the center. And then he released Brahmastra. Of course, this requires some amount of faith. It requires actually immense amount of faith that Rakshite iti Vishwaso. Krishna will always protect us. So when we have that faith, with that faith, if we execute our duties of purification, then Krishna actually makes adjustments in our life in a way that, everything works out in a favorable way. But if we neglect the purification, then the polluted consciousness actually creates a hellish situation. It actually makes living practically, even for two people to live together, becomes impossible. So it's actually very crucial that we focus on purification, sanctifying our space, sanctifying our consciousness. It is actually because of this reason that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he performed that beautiful pastime of cleaning the Gundicha Mandir. Many times, even devotees, they think that cleaning is, you have to just do minimal and that's it. Why you have to waste so much time on cleaning? But that's not, the correct way of thinking. In fact, Srila Prabhupada used that proverb. He said, we had that English proverb, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Prabhupada used that. He said, Actually, cleanliness is next to godliness. I remember one time uh, in our early days in Chopadi temple. So we used to worship deity of Radha Gopinath, and there were a lot of guidelines given. That punctuality, you have to be very punctual. Darshan should open in a timely manner. Lord should be offered arti in a timely manner. There should be bhoga offered in timely manner. You know. And then there was emphasis on cleanliness, punctuality, cleanliness. A lot of principles. So one time the pujari in our Chapani temple, he asked His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, Maharaj, when we have to compromise sometime among the principles, suppose we are getting late, we have to offer in timely manner. So whether we should compromise the timeliness or we should compromise the cleanliness. Maharaj said, ideally you shouldn't compromise anything, but if you have to, never compromise cleanliness. It is very crucial. Even if you're a little bit delay, it's okay. But cleanliness is most crucial. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually showed from his pastimes that through especially the pastime of Gundicha Marjan, he showed how cleanliness or cleaning our consciousness is so crucial. So we know in Jagannath Puri, there is Jagannath temple and then there is Gundicha temple. So Lord Jagannath resides always in Jagannath temple. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they reside throughout the year in Jagannath temple. But once in a year, for 7 days, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they travel from Jagannath temple to Gundicha temple and they stay there in the temple of Gundicha for 1 week. So you can imagine, of course, you can imagine if you leave a place closed for 1 year, how dirty it gets. It gets very dirty, right? Suppose you leave this home enclosed, even if you leave all the windows and doors closed and leave it for 1 year. After 1 year you come, do you think it will be clean? No. The nature of this world is the things get unclean. Things get dirty in due course of time. And impure thing also, they do get cleaned automatically in due course of time. That's a wonderful nature of this world. If you leave the room very clean, speck and clean, and leave it for 1 year, it'll get dirty. And if you leave some filth outside in the sun, it'll get purified in due course of time. Right? That's the way this creation works. But things do get dirty in due course of time. So Gundicha temple naturally gets very unclean, filled with a lot of dirt, spiders, cobwebs, so many dirt would be there. So when the festival of Jagannath Rath Yatra takes place, before that they actually they do the thorough cleaning of the temple. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to show his devotees the significance of cleaning. So Lord Chaitanya actually arranged this beautiful event of Gundicha Marjan, which Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has taken one entire chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita to describe. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just a day before Rath Yatra, he indicated, because King Prataprudra Maharaj, he considered himself servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, he had not yet received the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, But he always considered himself as servant of Lord Chaitanya. So he had instructed everyone, whatever Lord Chaitanya desires, it should be immediately executed. So the temple administration, whoever are the temple administration head, you know, um, Lord Chaitanya indicated that they wanted to clean Gundicha temple. So he immediately told my Lord, if this activity of cleaning is not befitting for you, but if you so desire, we can accept it as your pastime. But let me know what all you need. I will immediately arrange everything. So Lord Chaitanya indicated, and he immediately arranged, I think, few hundred brooms and earthen pots for cleaning. And Lord Chaitanya personally took all the devotees who used to come from Navadvip. He took all the devotees. He personally first garlanded them, applied some sandalwood on their body, and then with his own hands handed over one broom in their hand. That start cleaning. Just imagine. Have we been ever fortunate that our Guru Maharaj comes and gives you broom in the hand? Come on, clean. I remember many years ago when we used to live in Chapari temple. So Maharaj used to emphasize a lot, Radha Maharaj used to emphasize a lot on cleaning. You know. But we as young boys, we used to always think, yeah, we are all, graduate from college. Now we are here to preach. We are not here to do cleaning. So, you know, but maybe those who are not so educated, they can do cleaning work. But we will study the scriptures and we'll do, preaching. So Maharaj actually recognized that this was the mentality which was creeping into many of the devotees who are highly educated. So one day Maharaj just came in the ashram. He picked up the broom and started sweeping. And all the brahmacharis, they got shocked. They said, no, Maharaj, wait, what are you doing? Give us. They started trying to take away broom from Maharaj. Maharaj said, no. You all are highly educated. So you can do preaching and I'm not so educated. So I'll start, I'll continue cleaning here. That's it. Everybody understood how important this is. You know. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally handed over the broom, to the devotees and he said, let's start cleaning. And it's not that Lord Chaitanya only gave broom in the hands of devotees and then he disappeared. He went to the room and started reading some esoteric books. No. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also started cleaning with the devotees. They took the broom and started cleaning in the temple. And Lord Chaitanya was actually personally supervising all the devotees who were engaged in cleaning. When they were cleaning, of course, a lot of dirt was getting collected, leaves and dirt and cobwebs, everything was getting collected. Lord Chaitanya was collecting in one pile outside the temple, and all the devotees were collecting in another pile. But although almost like few hundred devotees were doing cleaning and piling up together, Lord Chaitanya's pile of dirt was much bigger than all the devotees together collecting the dirt. You can imagine, Lord Chaitanya was doing cleaning of the Gundicha temple with so much enthusiasm, without any lethargy. He was doing the simple act of cleaning. So Lord is teaching from his own example. What is the significance of purifying or cleaning? No. And of course, this cleaning doesn't mean only cleaning the space that we live in. It actually indicates cleaning our consciousness, our mind. No. We should never be lethargic in cleaning. No. And Lord Chaitanya was actually observing also the devotees, who's doing how much. So if he saw some devotee was, having that lethargic attitude, or not so sincerely, just trying to do minimum, Lord Chaitanya would actually tell the devotee, "You're doing so nice. Please teach others also how you're doing it." And the devotee would naturally feel embarrassed and start cleaning with enthusiasm. You know. So, anyway, uh, once they cleaned all the, you know, grossly visible dirt, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the temple looked clean, and Lord Chaitanya said, "Let's start cleaning once again." So now the devotees, they started brooming. Generally, India, you get different kinds of brooms, right? When you get thicker broom, then thinner brooms. So with that broom, they started taking out the finer particles of dust. So when the second time the cleaning was done, then Lord Chaitanya indicated, "Now bring the water." Now, and with his indication, the devotee started getting the water from the nearby Sarovar, Bindu Sarovar, and they actually started bringing the pots, earthen pots filled with water, and they started bringing. And see, so interesting. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami goes into details how they start cleaning with the water. Just pouring the water in the ground. He said that they started pouring the water from the ceiling first. When you put on the ceiling and the walls, the dirt naturally flows down, right? So even the effort of cleaning was done very intelligently, under the direction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the water is being brought down, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally cleaning the platform where Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are supposed to sit, called Jagamohan area. So Lord Chaitanya was actually cleaning that area, pouring the water, and after pouring the water, wiping it, Lord Chaitanya actually took his upper cloth and started drying or wiping, mopping that area. So through this beautiful Leela of Gundicha Marjan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to show that this human form of life is actually meant for purifying our consciousness. It's not just meant for um, getting some material success, accumulating wealth, having big homes, nice cars, having some name, fame, some high education. These things they will eventually become null and void at the time of death. Becoming null and void means everything that we accumulate will actually be what do you call balance zero at the time of death. That means everything is left here. But the only thing that will actually accompany us is how much effort we have put for purifying our consciousness. That is the only thing that will go with us. And the process of purifying our consciousness as given by Vaishnava Acharyas coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to diligently and carefully chant the holy name of Krishna, to read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and in the association of devotees, chant the holy names of Krishna, do Sankirtan. So these are the activities which actually purify our consciousness. So if we try to make these activities as an integral part of our life, so especially when we have a home, that home should be used for inviting the devotees and having the gatherings like this where we can actually sing the glories of Krishna and we can actually um, hear the glories of Krishna. By that activity, not only our consciousness become purified, but even our living space becomes purified. Don't think that these walls are just uh, dead matter, you know, devoid of any absorption. Everything actually absorbs the sound vibration. So even if you're living in a home and you have auspicious sound vibration of the holy name always going on, even the walls absorb that sound vibration in the home. And living in a home, what you think of, what you contemplate, what kind of attitude you have, is also permeated in that living space. So, therefore, we call it living space. It's not just dead home, it's just a living space because it does reciprocate with your consciousness. In fact, the walls, the ceilings, the floor, the doors, windows, everything actually absorbs your consciousness, what kind of consciousness you carry. So it's so crucial, especially in this human form of life. It's a form where we have tremendous responsibility to put an effort to purify our consciousness. When we purify our consciousness on daily basis, then it actually becomes very easy to not just two people. You can have 200 people living in the same family. They can live very happily. I mean, I grew up in a joint family, so I know what it means. I don't know how many of you have grown in a joint family, but living in a joint family, you know, and especially when there is Krishna consciousness in the center, it becomes much, much more easy. Of course, when I grew up, there was no Krishna consciousness, but everybody was respectful to the head of the family. No. So even if you have one head of the family where everybody is listened to, then also it becomes very easy. But what to speak if you have one person whom you worship together? No? You are fully surrendered to, especially the Guru and Krishna. If you keep them in the center of your home, it becomes so much easy. But still, it will not be easy. Even if, in the family, husband and wife both are initiated, and they may have same Guru also. But if you are not diligently purifying your consciousness on daily basis, it will be very difficult. Very difficult. If you are cultivating the desires which are contradictory to Krishna consciousness, if you are working in a direction to fulfill the desires which are not in alignment of our Krishna consciousness, then also it will be very, very difficult. So purification doesn't mean that I'll just chant my 16 rounds every day. Chanting 16 rounds, reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, at the same time uprooting the weeds that grow. The weed-like desires that grow in our heart, they also need to be uprooted. And that happens by hearing sincerely from the realized souls, from the realized Vaishnavas. Because if in a family, even a family of devotees, if one person has contradictory desires, it can actually create very unconducive atmosphere. So it's very crucial that we not only practice Krishna consciousness seriously, but we seriously and sincerely try to uproot the weeds, weed-like desires. Just in order to conclude, I'll share one instance. When I used to live in um, temple in Chapati, one of the service which I had was to bring the flowers from the market. So I used to bring flowers and then make the vases. The day I bring the flowers, I also supposed to make the vases for the deities. Keeping both side of Radha Gopinath. So uh, very often I would bring flowers, especially the roses. And the roses here they come without any thorns, right? The stems they come without any thorns. But in India you get the stems which are full of thorns. You know, um, you have to handle very carefully. Because thorns, even if one thorn pinches, you start bleeding, right? So, especially for making the garlands with the roses, what we do is in such cases trim the roses and discard the thorny twigs, right? Throw away the thorny twigs. So similarly, it's very natural when we are going out, you know, most of us, even nowadays Matajis have to work. So if you are going out, working in an atmosphere, it's very natural that hearing from people, we may imbibe the thorny like desires, you know. Money is like roses. You are going to get roses. But roses don't come alone. They come with thorns, right? So the thorny desires will also come in. It's natural. But when you get home, what you do is you diligently try to just keep the rose and discard the thorny twigs. Throw them away. You know? Then you can actually make beautiful garland. The money that you earn, you can actually offer to Krishna, Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, and create a very conducive atmosphere. But if you're not careful in removing the thorny twigs and you just start cherishing and relishing that will actually make you bleed. No. So it's actually very crucial, especially in household life. It's the responsibility of both husband and wife to remain focused on purifying your existence, purifying your consciousness on daily basis. There's no escape to it. Trust me, if you don't put an effort, if you become lenient, I'm feeling lazy, I become lenient, you'll have much, much more difficulty later. Because once the thorny desires, they start sprouting, they'll bring much, much more thorny bushes. More thorny bushes will come out. And dealing with the more thorny bushes come out, it's more difficult to deal with. Does anyone here do the garden trimming? Do you trim the rose bushes? You know how difficult it is? If you especially have too many branches come out different way, you cannot even just cut them you have to actually diligently try to go one by branch and then cut them together, pile them together because they have so many thorns. So having a home, having a living space is certainly a blessing, but along with that it comes also responsibility to keep our consciousness purified. That will keep the living space purified. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free. Yes, Prabhu.
You mentioned about enthusiasm when we were hearing, yes, you were telling about Gundicha Marjan Leela. Is one of the thing to be enthusiastic every time to associate with person who is enthusiastic. But practically it happens that when you are initiator of some of the services, you yourself need to be enthusiastic so you can you can at least inspire others. So, and it doesn't means practically it's not possible to always enthusiastic. So are there some practical steps practical tips that we can follow so we will be enthusiastic and maybe influence others?
Well, one of the actually there are a couple of proverbs which His Holiness Radha Maharaj always uses is if you are not feeling enthusiastic, act enthusiastic. Okay. So even if you're not feeling, at least act enthusiastically because by acting, you know, you will actually start feeling enthusiastic. I'll just give you an example. Um, when I used to live in Mumbai, I used to go to sometime morning walk to a garden. So in the garden, there would be some elderly people. They would get together and they would have their laughing yoga. Have you seen ever? So they get together, there'll be around 15 people standing in the circle and they start at a time, okay, 7 o'clock they start laughing. And they'll go on non-stop for 20 minutes. 7:20, they will laugh. So I bet, if you go at 7:05 and you see them laughing just for 1 minute, you'll start laughing automatically. They're artificially laughing. But if you go there and just see them, you'll actually naturally start laughing. Just by seeing, of course, seems to be silly, but by seeing them, you start actually laughing. So similarly, yes, if you don't feel enthusiastic, act enthusiastic. You'll start actually feeling enthusiastic. you know. And secondly, associating with people who are actually enthusiastic. You know, generally, um, the virtues like enthusiasm, you know, they are contagious. So if you associate with somebody who has enthusiasm, you'll naturally feel enthusiastic. You know. So there are a couple of ways we can actually enhance or boost our enthusiasm. Are you all wrong? Yes, wrong.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, Prabhuji, very nice class, very relatable. I was appreciating how Arjuna was taking time to do Achaman and then do the parikrama around Lord Krishna before releasing the Brahmastra, even though there was it was a situation of urgency. And so Prabhu, that's a reflection. I was just saying.
Sure.
So one thing you talked about is how the horoscope or astrology gives an indication like Rahu in sixth house causes the enemies, impure enemies, something like that you told, right? So there is the aspect of the branches of Vedas like horoscope, astrology, Vastu and all these things. And then we have the Krishna conscious process which involves the purification also. So how can we combine these two in a best possible way so that we can gain maximum advantage?
How we can combine all these different sciences with Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, bro. So that we can take benefit of what we are going through in our lives and what are the steps that we can.
Well, the sciences like, I'll say Vastu or Jyotish, they were actually meant for some crucial decision making in life. You know? So these are administrative tools. They were used by generally the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. Because Brahmana and Kshatriyas were responsible for administration of the society. Okay, so Kshatriyas would generally use these tools with the help of Brahmanas to create facilities for their subjects to live a happy and content life. So similarly, these tools are actually meant for uh, guidance so that we don't unnecessarily get what we call, as Rupa Goswami says, prayasa, too much endeavor in certain direction, blindly, without knowing that what will be the outcome. Because this human life is meant for uh, cognizant, to be living a conscious and cognizant life. You're not supposed to be living a blind life without any direction. I don't know. I'll just live and keep putting endeavor in, and by fluke I may get success in some direction. No, it's supposed to be actually uh, uh, conscious effort in certain direction with cognizance. You know that what to expect in life. That used to be the case. So brahmanas like Jyotishi, they would provide that guidance. You know? Okay, in certain aspect of life, you cannot expect any success in this direction. So don't even go there. You know? So if a person does not have that guidance, for example, then keeps putting endeavor, right? One after another, keep putting endeavor, then keep getting frustrated, right? People keep getting frustrated in that direction, right? I remember many years ago when I used to live in New Vrindavan, so we were trying to get some devotees from India to New Vrindavan. So we tried for one particular boy, his visa. We tried once, it got rejected. Twice we got rejected. So the person who was actually in leadership, he asked me, Prabhu, should we try? Is it a prayas? Is it too much endeavor? I said, well, if it got twice rejected, you may try one more time. If it get rejected, three is right. Three times you tried. And anything that you want to emphasize, you emphasize three times, right? So three times get rejected means you know that we did enough endeavor, not required any. They tried third time, it got rejected, so they stopped. Okay, we don't have to go in that direction again. But if you don't have that understanding, you try fourth time, fifth time, you keep getting frustrated, right? So similarly, just imagine somebody starts a business, gets failure. Second time, failure. Third time, failure. Fourth time, fifth time, keeps getting failure and getting frustrated, right? So if you have the guidance, oh, this is not a time for you to get success. You will get probably success after such and such year. So the person puts systematic endeavor without expecting success, and target is okay, I need to cross that timeline, then I'll probably have some success. So at least you have peace of mind. You have uh, appropriate expectations from life. So the life of cognizance brings expectations which do not bring frustration. But when people are living blind life, then they keep getting frustrated. If somebody wants to become, very wealthy, doesn't have his destiny to be wealthy, then keep getting frustrated. You know. So these tools are actually meant for uh, making our life cognizant. Because soul by nature is Satchit Ananda. Chit means full of knowledge. So Krishna has given everything to live the life of cognizance, not live a blind life. Make sense, Rom? So these tools are actually to live a life of cognizance. Hari Hari. Yes, bro.
You were mentioning about going out and getting contaminated, like in workplace, as an example. And you also mentioned about removing the thorn, which is cleansing. Can you give some practical tips, Prabhu, on like how to keep ourselves protected when staying outside, having in a like corporate setting, or and then obviously the thoughts and ideas come in, So just wanted to, if you can explain a little bit more about that thorn removal.
Now just imagine, uh, suppose you go to office, and maybe your boss or his boss is coming in a car with falcon wings, right? So you think, I want to buy such a car. And you probably have to sell your home and live in a car only, right? You understand? So if somebody gets influenced by the lifestyle and desires others carry, they may have that, destiny or karma to have that kind of facility. If I don't have, I don't have to harbor or imbibe those desires. Because if I do, then I keep getting frustrated. My father used to always say, I remember from child, he used to say, uh, always look down. If you look down, you see people who are underprivileged. You thank God. But he said, if you keep looking up, you'll keep getting frustrated in life. So, looking up and looking down, it has its own virtues. Looking up in spiritual circle, you look at your guru, you look at pure Vaishnavas. It gives you aspiration. I want to be like them. Positive inspiration. But in material circles, if you look up, then you only imbibe more and more material desires, which actually brings more and more frustration. No? So, yes, we have to look up in spiritual circles. You have to look down in material circles. So then you become actually grateful. You become grateful to Krishna, whatever he has given materially, and you start aspiring to imbibe the virtues and the lifestyle of pure Vaishnavas. Make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. It was very practical, I think.
Really. So I think we can. Yes, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Rama.
Prabhu, sorry, I've been hearing in blocks, but the uprooting of the weeds, even Maharaj mentions in his journey home, uprooting the weeds. I had a question like when this year started, I made all the list of all my weeds, and it's just common like envy, appreciation, craving for, recognition. All of those weeds that we have. It's been 3 months now. Like I'm conscious of the weeds when they come, when they creep up on the mind level. But how do I eliminate those weeds? Like I can't do it by myself. And you said our 16 rounds, our sadhana is not just enough. So how do I practically, make an effort to remove those weeds when they come up? When they come, I know that they are there. Most of the time, I'm apologizing to Krishna that, oh, they've come up now. I'm sorry. I'm recognizing it. That's my weakness. But how do I, prevent them?
You are actually a step ahead of me, Madhuri. I don't even realize. But a very nice question, very practical. Most of the people don't even realize. Actually, I'll say, Madhuri, congratulate that you at least are conscious. You have made an effort to put it on paper, what weeds are there. I think I need to follow that practice as well. I need to put it on paper. But the fact is, to be conscious, to know that what are the weeds that I'm carrying, in itself is a great achievement. No. Because most of the time people don't even realize that in a particular situation, it is the weed which is actually causing them, behave in an inappropriate way. Now, coming to how to uproot those weeds. In the gardening, right, when you are trying to nourish the plant that you want, which are favorable, and you want to uproot the weeds, okay, you have to do it in an appropriate time frame manner. So, for example, I remember in our backyard, there was one small weed that was growing. So I thought, okay, I'll sometime uproot it. So it is too cold, right, to go out. So I say, okay, I will uproot when appropriate little warm weather comes, then I'll uproot it. I'll go and uproot all the weeds. But by the time summer came, that weed was so gone deep in the ground. And trying to uproot it, it would not come out. It will just broke, but it did not get uprooted. So I broke it, but again, because the roots are inside now, so it again keeps coming up, until if you have to take shovel and actually try to uproot it. Okay. Now, similarly, uprooting a weed in our Krishna consciousness. Say, for example, take a simple example, the weed of seeking appreciation. People should glorify me or appreciate me. Okay, it's a weed. Now you want to uproot that weed. Okay. The way out that is you start giving the appreciation to others. Because you know what? To give appreciation to others requires contemplation. You know, it's very easy to say, like in family, what you have given me? You're not giving me anything. You're not doing anything for me. It's so easy to say, right? It takes some contemplation to actually contemplate. Like, Bhakti Thakur had this habit when two devotees would fight and they're not even talking terms with each other. He would bring them together and then he'd say, okay, you glorify this devotee. So, and now in front of Guru is telling you to glorify the person. Even if you don't think like that, you smile very nicely, very artificially, you say. But then Guru is there, right? So you have to really think hard what virtue the person has, right? So it's very easy to contemplate on the shortcomings of others, but it takes little contemplation to see what virtues others have. Okay, so I'm just taking the same example of somebody's hankering for appreciation. Hankering for appreciation is because we are focusing on, oh, I have such good qualities. Why people are not able to see? Are people blind around me? They don't see. I have so many wonderful qualities. That means actually I am becoming blind to others' qualities, others' virtues. Okay. So all I need to do is start actually looking into and contemplative of others' virtues, others' qualities. Okay. And start appreciating it. When you actually start giving it to others, you automatically lose the taste for hankering for appreciation. This is just one example. Like, I'll tell you, um, we all like to eat nice foodstuffs, right? I remember when I used to cook in the ashram time, we used to cook nice feast. And when you're cooking whole afternoon, like for the festival in the evening, you're cooking the whole afternoon. The evening, you are really, really hungry, But many of the brahmacharis had made the principle. So I was just one of them who had made a principle that we will cook the feast, we will not eat. We will actually, after the feast, after the festival is over, we'll serve everyone wholeheartedly. And if something is left, then we'll eat. Okay. So we used to follow that. And you know what? When you actually neglect that, okay, I am hungry, it's okay. But these devotees need to be served. They need to be provided nice feast. Because if they become happy, Krishna will be so pleased. Even though my tongue may be drooling that I want to eat this gulab jamun or this gajar halwa we have made, I want to eat, but you wholeheartedly give. Somebody will say, no, Prabhu, too much. Take, Prabhu, take little more. Then, you know what used to happen? Mostly devotees will be so satisfied. They'll be filled till here, and there will be still so much left for all of us. And this used to be always the case. But I'll just tell you another example. So there was one devotee who used to serve Maharaj. He was a personal servant of Maharaj. So one time Maharaj went with a couple of his godbrothers to a place in Mangalore. They were living in some ashram. And Maharaj took this devotee with him because he was cooking for Maharaj. So first day when they reached, this devotee, he cooked only for Maharaj and himself. Because there were other two proper disciples. They were also Maharaj's godbrother. But he didn't cook anything for them. So he cooked only for two people. And there were actually four people, right? Two other devotees. So when he cooked and he brought the prasad, the Maharaj said, oh, only this much? And he said, Maharaj, sorry, I cooked for only both of us. Maharaj said, okay, that's not a problem. So he said, bring 4 plates, we 4 of us will eat. So Maharaj divided into all 4 and they ate the food that was sufficient for 2 people. 4 people ate, and that's okay. Next day, this brahmachari again did the same thing. He cooked only for 2 people. Maharaj, he said, what is this? Didn't you realize yesterday that we are 4 of us? He said, Maharaj, I didn't know that I'm supposed to cook for them. Maharaj said, okay, bring 3 plates. Maharaj brought 3 plates. Maharaj said, you fast today. This is your punishment. Okay. And Maharaj actually first fed the 2 god brothers, and then of course he ate a little bit, whatever was there. And then he called the brahmachari. He said, if you have this mentality, you cook with mentality of being miser. He said, if you cook with this mentality, no matter how much you may cook, it'll always fall short and nobody will be satisfied with your cooking. Maharaj said, if you want to really satisfy devotees, then you have to cook wholeheartedly and serve wholeheartedly. Then even if sometimes the food is less in your estimation, it will still be sufficient for everyone and everyone will be feeling satisfied. And you know what? This we realized in the ashram days, when you used to cook wholeheartedly and serve wholeheartedly to everyone without considering, that I will get or not. We always got more than everyone else, and everyone else was actually happy and satisfied. So, any weed we may feel is troubling, all you need to do is just reverse it and try to give it to devotees. And you will see that weed will automatically disappear. No. Make sense, Mataji?
Prabhu, I just didn't want to take the credit. Actually, I read Journey Home again this December, and I read like Maharaj said seeds and weeds. So for so long, I've been focusing on the seeds, like reading Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting, increasing my sadhana. But then I also realized that I'm not doing anything about my weeds, and I can feel them now. And like you said, that the roots grow deeper. So this year, I thought I'll at least write them so that I know the next time. I can call them to Maharaj.
That's a good practice, Mataji. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, Prabhu.
So just a follow-up question on that. So when you are serving in some particular program or temple or whatever it is, sometimes you are told don't give more than 2 vadas or 1 chapati. And then when devotees come and ask, can I get one more? I feel so offensive not to, give, especially when devotees are asking. Personally, I don't believe in that. I should believe like how much ever they're asking, you should give. But what do you do in that situation?
In such situation, you should follow uh, the administration guideline, because you know what? Sometime the devotees cook wholeheartedly, but more devotees happen to come, so then they have to adjust the serving. For example, I'll tell you. We have Ajay Prabhu, one of the devotees in Sacramento. He lives in Folsom. He had been cooking for, I think, past many years for San Francisco Rath Yatra. So he has good experience. Okay, he has actually measurement for how many spoons and what size of spoons you should serve to people, which will not waste the food. At the same time, it will serve everyone. So he has so much calculation placed, and because he has been doing for many years for Rath Yatra, right? So of course he cooks wholeheartedly with the team, that sufficient quantity should be there. But sometimes we see that you expect that, there are more people have come. Then he says, okay, reduce the quantity little bit spoon wise so that we'll have actually so many more plates served. Okay. And generally, suppose, a person is supposed to get 2 spoons of rice. Instead of he got 1.5 spoon. People don't realize that so much, right? If they want, they'll come more again. But sometimes if you end up in giving more, people throw away, or they sometimes end up in overeating. So if we are given guideline that, okay, try to serve conservatively, then we should follow that, because yes, I understand it's not a good thing that somebody is coming and asking and you don't give. But just imagine, in the end, there may be 40, 50 devotees who didn't get anything. That'll be even more painful, right? That they didn't get anything, right? But if this devotee got something, everybody got something, right? So we should try to follow that. So yes, sentiment-wise, we may feel that, okay, it's not appropriate. But then, think of, in last, if somebody doesn't get the food, that'll be actually even more inappropriate, right? Then you'll feel more, see, oh, why did I do that? I mean, it has happened with me sometime. I just end up in giving, and then some devotee come, oh, there's no prasad left. And I was actually serving more to people. Hey, just finish. We have to finish everything. Come on, eat, eat. And then somebody came and, oops, I say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be serving. So we should follow the guideline. It's actually appropriate. Hari Bol, Prabhu. Yes, so how's your voice, Prabhu?
You will come to know. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Is it? Yeah. So, Prabhu, I'll.
You sound much better.
Yeah, yeah. This,
Wow.
so, I liked the way, I just want to add to it, the way the yatra in Chapati happens. So, the appetizers and sweets, that is standard. They have
What?
calculated. The appetizers and sweet,
Yeah.
but they have wholeheartedly served the rice and dal at the end, outside when people are taking. So, at the end, the point is everyone is satisfied in terms of their quantity. So,
Yes. That's the administrative part. Yeah. And sometimes if you want to satisfy the devotees, you can invite them personally home and feed them whatever they want to eat, to their heart's content. But thank you, Prabhu. That was a good point. But you sound good. Happy to hear that. Good. So I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, thank you so much, Shankaran Prabhuji, for coming and blessing us and this house and all of us, all the devotees with your presence. It was such a nice class where you talked about all the aspects of living, purifying, sanctifying the living spaces. And I really like the end, which was about identifying the weeds and rooting them out. I think that was really beautiful. So thank you so much for your presence here.
Thank you very much for opening your home to all of us, Prabhu. Haribo!
And
So let's express our gratitude, because I know Mataji and Praveen Prabhu both have been working since early morning. I was here since morning, so they've been working since early morning. So let's wholeheartedly express our gratitude by chanting Haribo! 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 Thank you, Prabhu.
And thanks all devotees for coming and blessing us. This is our first home program and in new home. So thank you so much. Haribol. And with all of your blessings, I hope we can actually have more regular programs. I think Prabhu is planning something, so we'll do. So let's do the prasadam prayers, and then we'll go into the prasadam service.
महाप्रसादे गोविन्दे नाम नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे स्वल्पपुण्यवतां राजन् विश्वासो नैव जायते शरीरविद्याजाल जडेन्द्रियता हे काल जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तार मध्ये जीवायति लोभोमय सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ दयामय करी बारे जिह्वा जय स्वप्रसादन्न दिलो भाई से अन्नामृत पाओ श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। बोलो श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ महाप्रसाद की जय।